Hello, and welcome to Interchange on Cambridge One, your new home for digital learning. My name is Glenn Mathis. I'm a publishing manager with Cambridge University Press, and I'll be your guide today as we take a tour through Cambridge One to look at the Interchange 5th edition materials there. Before we talk about Cambridge One, let's review what makes a good website. According to Digital Design Company, a company that provides web services for major corporations, healthcare providers, and government entities, there are three things that make a good website. First, it must be well designed and functional. That means it must look good and function well. A good website or online platform also should be easy to use. And, of course, these days, a good website also needs to be optimized for mobile devices. We kept all of this in mind with Cambridge One. Cambridge One contains all digital course materials in one place. It's easy to use, it's optimized for mobile, and it facilitates in-class or online instruction. It's a place for students to learn and practice English through interactive activities. It's also a tool for teachers to monitor students' progress. And it's a bank of downloadable resources for both teachers and students. Let's talk about Interchange on Cambridge One. Why did we put the Interchange materials on Cambridge One? Well, simply put, you asked and we listened. You've told us that you would like to have all of the Interchange materials in one place. So Cambridge One is a solution that now allows us to offer everything in one place. What Interchange materials are on Cambridge One for teachers? Well, all of them. We've taken all of the materials from the Interchange website, the Cambridge LMS, and eSource, and they now all live on Cambridge One. There's the class audio and the class video. There are photocopyable worksheets, including the video activity sheets, photocopyable activities, games, and fresh ideas. All of the tests are also there on Cambridge One, including the placement test. You'll also find a copy of the Teacher's Edition teaching notes. You'll find additional teacher resources. You will also find the digital workbook and the Presentation Plus class presentation software. How about for students? What Interchange materials are there for students? Well, again, the class audio and video are available, as well as the video resource book. And the new students ebook will be available there for students. In addition, students will also receive access to their digital workbook if they purchase the students book with digital pack. Now let's take a tour together. We're going to go to cambridgeone.org and see all of these materials. Welcome to cambridgeone.org, your new home for digital learning. The first thing you'll want to do when you arrive at cambridgeone.org is to sign up. You'll need to create an account to enter cambridgeone.org and see the materials. If you already have an account on the Cambridge LMS, you can use that login. Sign up is very easy. Since I already have an account, I'm going to log in directly. When you log in, you can log in using your Facebook account, your Google account, or your email address and password. I'm going to log in using my Google account. Now, I am logging in as a teacher. You can also log in as a student or a parent. When you log in as a teacher, you're going to see your library, and this shows all of the course materials offered by Cambridge. To quickly find your course, simply type it into the search bar. Here, I see all of the materials available for Interchange. Let's look at Interchange 5th edition Level 1. When I click on Level 1, I can see the course materials for that level. The online materials include the digital workbook, the Presentation Plus, the testing program, and the teacher's resources. Here, we see all the materials separately. Presentation Plus, testing program, teachers' resources, and digital workbook. Let's look closely at each of these. Let's start with the testing program. Simply click on the testing program to open it up. What we'll find is a placement test, oral quizzes, written quizzes, and the midterm and final tests. You also have the option to download everything. However, if you want to download the tests one by one, you can do that as well. Now, you will need a code in your Teacher's Edition in order to access these tests. The reason for this is we want to make sure that students don't have easy access to the tests before they take them. I've already entered that code. And if you have an old Teacher's Edition, or if you do not use a Teacher's Edition, simply talk to your local Cambridge rep to get a code to access the tests. Now, if you want to download the individual files, simply click on the test and it will show you the files available for downloading. Let's go back and look at the teacher's resources. Teacher's resources include the Teacher's Edition, teaching notes, the class audio, video program, as well as the worksheets. Click on the teacher's resources to see everything. Again, here you see the Teacher's Edition, also the Teacher's Edition teaching notes, the class audio, the video program, Common European Framework of Reference correlations, all the worksheets, the fresh ideas, the games, and teacher development. Again, you have the option to download all. However, there are a lot of materials here, so you might want to download them as you need them. Here's the Teacher's Edition. We have the teaching notes and the other parts of the Teacher's Edition that you can use for reference. Here are the worksheets. And you can see there are many different kinds of worksheets. There are extra worksheets, grammar worksheets, listening worksheets with the audio for those worksheets, worksheets for projects, worksheets for vocabulary, and worksheets for writing. Again, you can download all of the worksheets. However, again, there are quite a few. You might want to download them as you go. Additionally, we have the fresh ideas and the games. And let's look at the teacher development section. In the teacher development section, you will find professional development videos. These were videos created by author and professor Jack C. Richards. There is also the How to Teach Remotely with Interchange guide and a white paper research on how Interchange works. Additionally, the Teaching with Interchange teaching module is currently being updated to include Cambridge 1 and will soon be available here as well. Check back soon. Okay, now let's look at the digital workbook. The digital workbook contains interactive activities for students to do as self-study. These are additional activities to practice and assess their mastery of the language and their skills. Let's look at the digital workbook. This is what your students will see on the student side of Cambridge 1 as well. Now, I am looking at this on a computer, so it fills the full screen and is very wide. However, the digital workbook will fit to mobile device screens, so your students can do the activities on the go. Let's look at what you'll find in each unit. In each unit, you'll find interactive activities for vocabulary, for grammar, for listening, for reading, and also exercises for the video. Let's look at one of these exercises. I'm going to look at grammar exercise 1. Let's go ahead and do this exercise. I simply click on the items and now I can check my answers. Hooray! So that's an example of one of the digital workbook exercises. Now, when students do these exercises, their scores will appear in your gradebook, which we'll take a look at in just a moment. Before we do that, though, let's look at the Presentation Plus. If you're familiar with the Presentation Plus classroom presentation software, you'll know that it has the student's book, workbook, and video activity sheets. You will need a code to access Presentation Plus. So contact your local Cambridge rep to purchase a code or find out how you can get one. I've already entered the code, so I'm just going to click on this, and I get a message before we enter Presentation Plus. I can choose to open Presentation Plus online, or I can download it. Now, Presentation Plus has annotation tools where you can write your notes, highlight, also attach web links, other notes, other materials. If you use those annotation tools, you will want to download Presentation Plus in order to save all of your annotations. If you use the annotation tools online, you can't save them. So you can use the annotation tools, but they will not save if you launch Presentation Plus online. So you'll want to think about whether or not you're going to use those annotation tools and whether you want to save your notes and annotations. And if you do, you'll want to download. Okay, let's go ahead and just launch online. And as this is loading, you can see all of the materials that are here. We have the student's book, the workbook, the video resource book, which contains the video teaching notes and video activity sheets, all of the videos, a tab with links and resources, also for you to quick reference the Teacher's Edition teaching notes, and we have the entire testing program. Let's take a look at the student's book. The student's book in Presentation Plus is the same as the print student's book and the same as the student's ebook. However, you have some additional tools that you can use to present to the entire class. You have access to the answer keys, which you can show all together or one at a time. You also have access to the audio and in the video resource book to the video. Annotation tools include a pen, highlighter, eraser, attachments, and also a window screen in which you can hide certain parts of the page so you can focus students' attention on certain activities. Additionally, you can change to single page view, and you can magnify to make this bigger. That's the Presentation Plus. Now, let's go back by clicking on Cambridge University Press up in the top left corner. All this time we have been in My Library. In order to see your gradebook, we're going to go into My Classes. So click on My Classes, and if you have more than one class in, scroll down to find your class. Here's my Interchange Level 1 class. You can see that I have access to the class data, the assignments, and the materials. Let's click on class data and see our gradebook. Now, this is only a test class that I created, so as you can see, I don't have any students yet. Now, when you set up your class, simply copy this class key and send it to your students. Your students will enter the class key, and then you will see their names in your class data. Once the students do the digital workbook activities, they will begin to show up here, and you'll see their scores. Additionally, you can set assignments to students here. I have no assignments created, but that's because I have no students yet. When you have students in your class, you can create assignments and send them to the students. You also have access to the materials, just as you do in My Library. So that's a quick tour of Interchange on Cambridge One. So let's recap what we saw of Interchange on Cambridge One. On Cambridge One, Interchange has all of the digital learning materials. There are also all of the teacher resources and all of the students' resources. Both teachers and students can see the interactive digital workbook. Students will have access to their ebook. Now, all versions of the Interchange Students book will come with an ebook. There's the Student's Book with ebook and the Student's Book with digital pack, which also contains the ebook. Additionally, we are updating the Teaching with Interchange module and adding those to the teacher development. Again, all of this is on cambridge1.org. Are you still teaching remotely? Many teachers had to change to remote instruction during the pandemic. Some are still teaching remotely, some are going back to the classroom, and some will continue to teach remotely, possibly doing a blend of in-person and remote learning. If you're teaching remotely, you can use the materials on Cambridge One just as well as if you were teaching in the physical classroom. You can use Presentation Plus to present your lessons online. Students can follow along with their students' books or with their ebooks. And you can easily add the resources on Cambridge One for more practice. Students can also do the digital workbook between lessons so you can see their progress and you can use the scores for grades. That was our tour of Interchange on Cambridge One. Now feel free to go and take your own tour. Simply sign up and you'll see all the materials available for you there. You can find everything you need on Cambridge One. I hope you'll enjoy using the Interchange resources on cambridge1.org. Thank you.